So how'd you get started in all this?
Luck.
Yeah. From baseball to recruiting.
I love when people ask that question because honestly, it was luck. So recruiting is one of those industries, no one ever grows up and wants to be a recruiter. Most people have no idea even what a recruiter does. I mean, I think people do now, but when I got into it in 2004, I had just retired from baseball. I had just finished my degree at University of North Florida, and I was moving out here with my wife, and I was like, okay, I want to be in sales, and I want to be a pharmaceutical sales rep. And I had never interviewed for a job in my life. Never. I was a baseball player. I never even had a job outside of baseball. Growing up, it was like, hey, my dad said, your job is baseball, and if you need money to go to Taco Bell or go to the movies or whatever, as long as you're working, I'll give it to you. And so that was good and bad. And so when I got here, I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to interview for this job for pharmaceutical sales. I went to interview, and it was terrible. I was not expecting it. And so I knew as soon as I walked away, I was like, yeah, I'm not getting that job. So then my second interview was with this recruiting firm in injection molding. No idea what injection molding was. And even back then in 2004, it was like, I didn't even research it. I'm like, all right, I don't know, whatever. They just said that I could make a lot of money. And so I went in for the interview, and during the interview, they were like, yeah, we want to hire you. We want to get you on a call with the owner of the company. I was like, I must be like an awesome interviewer. Like second one, offer on the spot. I'm like, I'm the man. I found out about 8 months later after being in the company that they actually hire everyone because the turnover in recruiting.
They can fog up a window or their nose. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you can breathe, you're in recruiting because the turnover rate's so high. Only about 2 out of every 10 people even make it in the industry. So there was that. And by that time, I was already good at it. I was already, on target to be Rookie of the Year. And so I was doing that, had a lot of early success. The company had been around for 12 years. My first year, I broke a rookie record for billing. My second year, broke another record for total billings of the company, overthrew the guy who had been top biller for the last 2 years. And then the ego came. I'm so good at this. Why am I giving away half of my commission? Started my own company. This was in mid-2007. Did residential construction. We all know what happened in 07, 08, and 09 in residential construction. Out of the gate, when we started, we were killing it. And then all of a sudden, it just the real estate market started crashing. Calling these construction companies, and they were laughing at me. They were like, do you know what's going on in the industry? I'm like, well, yeah, I do, but 80% of the industry has been laid off, but really you don't want those people that have been laid off. You want the 20% that are still working, because if they didn't get laid off, they're the best of the best. That didn't work. Long story short, we went out of business. I got burned out from recruiting. That was around the time that I met my current wife, and both of us entrepreneurs, her probably even more so than me. And she just had idea after idea, and she got me going because I was like, I don't want to do this entrepreneur thing. I'm just going to go get a stable job. And then I got a couple stable jobs, and I quickly realized I'm not made for that. I'm not made for that. Not built for that. And so we started, I think between 13 years, her and I have started 6 companies together, and 3 of them are still in existence. So we've done all right. And then 5 years ago, I was working for another recruiting firm. It's actually the recruiting firm I started my career in. And I just didn't like the way they were doing business. It was still kind of the same kind of slimy way that we were doing it back in the day. And she was like, you just need to start your own firm. I'm like, I don't want to do that again. She's like, no, you have to do it again. I'm like, I don't want to do it again. So she kicked my butt. She's like, just do it. I don't know what you're afraid of. And I did it. And here we are 5 years later. And I'm so glad she pushed me